Okay. Ladies and gentlemen, this story comes out of North Carolina, and I'm going to tell you, you just can't be this level of dumb. And I need to forewarn you guys, I'm going to say some things that are probably going to make you mad, that are not going to sit well with your sensibilities. So I'm going to warn you, this might not be the video for you, okay? There's a bad thing that happened to a baby by a bad, horrible individual. The individual that you see on my screen right here in North Carolina is facing several felony charges after police say that a police officer witnessed this individual stab its own infant daughter in the back. Stabbed a baby in the back with a kitchen knife during a domestic dispute. According to a press release, and I need to say thank you to Law and Crime, which is where I get this article from. According to a press release from the Greenville, North Carolina Police Department, which is where that comes from, officers were dispatched to a residence located on Taylor Street after receiving a report about a disturbance at approximately 1:30 p.m. on Monday. First responders arrived on the scene shortly after and said that they encountered 21-year-old Sierra Dyer, who was allegedly arguing with an unnamed family member. The source of the alleged argument was custody of Dyer's 1-year-old daughter. Wow. They were arguing over custody, and this was with an unnamed family member, so I'm assuming maybe a mother. That sounds like something a mother would argue with their kid about. Like, you're doing a horrible job. Let me have this kid so I can raise this kid to grow up and become something great. Because clearly you don't want your kid to grow up and become nothing, just like you. During the argument, one of the officers on the scene said that they saw Dyer walk away from the confrontation and go into the kitchen. Oh, Lord. An officer followed Dyer to the kitchen of the house and observed this young man that you see right here on my screen pick up a knife and stab this baby in the back. So somebody says they want to save the kid, and you're just like, you'd rather murder the kid? Really, dude? Really? The officer quickly confronted Dyer, who allegedly threw the knife to the kitchen floor. The officer who witnessed the alleged stabbing immediately took Dyer into custody. A second officer who was present secured the child and called for emergency medical services, EMS, according to police. The infant was rushed to Vidant Medical Center, where the baby's wounds were treated. The medical staff at the facility told police that the young girl is expected to make a full recovery. Now, how messed up is that child is going to have that scar for the rest of its life and those stitches and whatever else that it had to go through? Because this dude couldn't control his damn emotions because he didn't properly. Oh, I'm sorry. I just noticed that on the screen. It said a mother was charged with attempted murder. Oh. So that's not a man, but it don't look like a female. I got to steal this in the chat. And shout out to Tanea. Tanea said, this is not a male or a female. This is a fee-man. A fee-man. A fee-man. F-E-M-A-N. I like that word. We're going to have to keep that. A fee-man. Old Magilla Gorilla looking ass. Look at this. There is absolutely no way that any of y'all could have looked at this picture and thought, that's a mother. Oh, Great Escape looking ass. Like, what in the world? How are y'all building these mothers? Who is sleeping with them? Gross. Gross. Who is the biological father that looked at that and said, damn, I'd like to get me some of that? A fee-man. Hashtag Fee-Man. I'm sorry. That shit is funny to me. I'm sorry. That is an amazing comment. Shout out to Tanea. Golly. Times got to be hard out there in Greenville. Man, sheesh. The Greenville Police Department initially claimed that the arresting officer watched Dyer grab the knife before stabbing her daughter. Her. I'm going to use that term loosely. Her. Okay? But later corrected that statement. The previous version of this release erroneously stated that the officer observed Dyer pick up the knife. The department's revision said Dyer was already actively stabbing the child when the officer walked in and confronted her, at which point she dropped the knife. Why did they have to correct that? Because they tries to sue the police over anything and everything. So she was already actively stabbing the child as opposed to you saw her pick up the knife and stab the child. Why does that matter? Because people try to use anything that you say against you to try to sue the police for some bull crap. It don't matter whether you saw him pick up the knife, you saw the knife being plunged into a baby. Like, who cares? Anyway. Dyer was booked at the Pitt County Detention Center where she's being held on a $1.5 million bond. Please notate that I said a $1.5 million bond. Why is that important? Because the mother who had drugs around her kid and almost overdosed was given a $15,000 bond for essentially doing the same thing, attempted murder, in my opinion. Online records show that she was charged with 1 count of attempted murder in the first degree and 1 count of intentional child abuse resulting in serious physical injury, both felonies. The records did not say whether Dyer currently has legal representation. The Pitt County Sheriff's Office did not immediately respond to an email from this website, Law and Crime, seeking additional details about the case and Dyer's attorney. Last month, a 22-year-old mother in Michigan was charged with murder after police say that she stabbed her 3-year-old daughter to death. Damn. I'm not going to even read the rest of that. That's disgusting. Let me give you guys the fair usage. Let me show you guys the news videos. If you're watching, do us a favor and please click that thumbs up. I know we're being comical because some of these stories are so sad, man. You got to find the funny moments. Okay? Let's get it. Federal law allows citizens to reproduce, distribute, or exhibit portions of copyrighted motion pictures, videotapes, or video discs under certain circumstances without the authorization of the copyright holder. This is called fair use. It is allowed for purposes of criticism, news reporting, teaching, and parody, which doesn't infringe of copyright under 17 U.S.C. 107. She does look like a plucked chicken. Let's go.
A toddler is recovering tonight in eastern North Carolina after police say she was stabbed by her mother. Police say yesterday that the 21-year-old mother was arguing with a family member over the child's custody. The officer said when they arrived, they saw the stabbing happen. The mother is charged with attempted murder and felony child abuse. The toddler is expected to make a full recovery. Authorities say the mother is in the Pitt County Jail on a $1.5 million.
A mother has been charged after police say an officer witnessed her stab her own daughter.
We have learned that the mother of the injured 1-year-old is now charged with attempted murder and felony child abuse. Police say 21-year-old Sierra Dyer was arguing with a family member over the custody of the toddler when she picked up a knife and stabbed the child in the back. When police arrived, they say an officer followed Dyer into the kitchen where they witnessed the stabbing. She then surrendered to police and was taken into custody. She is at the Pitt County Jail under a $1.5 million bond. The child was taken to Vidant Medical Center and is expected to make a full recovery.
A Greenville mother is in jail tonight. She's charged with stabbing her one-year-old daughter in the back. It happened at an apartment complex on Taylor Street in Greenville. Police say they were there on a domestic call today when an officer followed 21-year-old Sierra Dyer into the apartment. She allegedly picked up a knife and stabbed the child. The officer jumped in and police say Dyer threw the knife on the floor. Police immediately arrested her. As for the baby, EMTs rushed to Vidant, rushed her there, and now we're told she's expected to be okay.
She was a pretty little girl. She always kept a smile on her face. I just would never want no child to ever get done like that.
Dyer is charged with attempted murder and felony child abuse. A Greenville mother is in jail tonight. She's charged with stabbing her one-year-old daughter in the back. It happened at an...
If y'all look at that little bitty picture, does that not look just like a man? It looks like a guy. Whew. Boy, literally.
Apartment complex on Taylor Street in Greenville. Police say they were there on a domestic call today when an officer followed 21-year-old Sierra Dyer into the apartment. She allegedly picked up a knife and stabbed the child. The officer jumped in and police say Dyer threw the knife on the floor. Police immediately arrested her. As for the baby, EMTs rushed to Vidant, rushed her there, and now we're told she's expected to be okay.
She was a pretty little girl. She always kept a smile on her face. I just would never want no child to ever get done like that.
Dyer is charged with attempted murder and felony child abuse.
Y'all are going wild in the chat. She looked like Alf mixed with Donkey Kong. Wow, man. You know what I just thought about? Lady looks like a dude. I'm sorry. I don't be singing. I just thought about that song. I'm an 80s DJ. Had to do it. My bad. But anyway, my closing thoughts about this female that you see on my screen. That's quite ridiculous. The fact that you're having a conversation with a family member who's trying to think of the better interests of the kid, save the kid from your bad parenting, and you want to go take it out on the kid. I want y'all to think about this. Y'all are going in the chat. I'm sorry. That's funny to me. I want y'all to think about this. In all seriousness, you were mad at the family member talking about the kid. I'm not advocating for violence, but let's think about this logically. If you're mad at an adult, wouldn't you think that that person would stab the adult, not the defenseless child? I'm not advocating for violence. It's not what I'm doing. I'm just saying, if you were going to do something this stupid, why would you do it to the child who could not speak for itself, could not defend itself, and you allegedly gave birth to this child? I'm still not going to believe that. Not going to believe it. Carried this child for 9 months to fruition. Nursed this baby, changed this baby, took care of this baby, and then you try to murder this baby because you didn't like what another adult said to you? If you ask me, that sounds like a bully, a flat out bully mentality. This is also why I believe that we need to just, at this point, fellas, stop providing your seeds. A lot of these stories could stop if men just become more responsible with their seeds, because without any seeds, you cannot produce any fruit. We can always hold responsibility on both sides. We can say the moms need to be more responsible. We can say the dads need to be more responsible. But as a man, I'm just going to hold myself responsible and talk to my brothers and say, stop providing your seeds to people you aren't married with. It's dumb. Now, I think that I've learned my lesson, especially being reckless out here in these streets. I haven't got a woman pregnant in 14 years. I think I've learned my lesson. So I'm trying to not only be a living example of the things that I talk about, but I'm also trying to just give people more things to think about so that we don't continue to keep putting these children in situations that the children don't want to be in, don't need to be in, and keep creating all of this turmoil and frustration, and we keep taking it out on each other, okay? This is not a product of the system. This is because we keep doing this to ourselves. We're bringing children into this world for all the wrong reasons. We hope that people continue to be advocates for children. The new hashtag BLM, Babies Lives Matter. Thank you guys for listening to the story with an open mind as well as an open heart. And we hope that this female, life in prison sounds pretty good to me. There's no reason for her to be in our him to be in our society. All right, let's get rid of this person. Okay. Thank y'all for listening. We'll see you on the next story. All right. Peace.